Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time to talk about the things I will not be buying in 2025. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I've been trying to have an adagio attitude towards shopping. In other words, I try to practice slow shopping and become more conscious of the way that I consume things. And I try to focus more on appreciating what I have than pondering what I want. Since 2025 is such a round number, I thought it would be fun to round up 25 things I won't be purchasing in 2025 as an exercise in gratitude. And to be clear, this list is very personal to my life and to my preferences. I am sure that every single person out there would choose different things for their lists. In fact, if you're interested in doing this exercise, I would absolutely love to hear what's on your no-buy list for 2025. As an aside, I do sometimes review products on my channel. So as the year progresses, there is a chance that you may see a couple of items from this list sneak into my possession, at least temporarily. However, the things that I review are typically either borrowed or paid for using my channel's budget. And just because I review something doesn't mean that it automatically becomes part of my collection. I try, at least, to only keep the things that I think I can realistically use and will enjoy. And then I try to pass everything else along so that it doesn't go to waste. Now that all the disclaimers are out of the way, let's jump in with thing number one that I will not be purchasing this year: fragrance. I know fragrance is one of the fastest growing parts of the beauty industry, and I also know that I really love smelling nice, but I have, let me see, I'm just going to give a rough estimate here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bottles of fragrance that I can see from this chair. And I mean, they're not all full-size bottles. Some of them are just, for example, like this one here. But do you know how long it takes me to even go through a bottle of this size? Years. So even though I still have one fragrance on my wish list that I have been itching to buy for years now, Angel's Share by Kilian, I can't see myself buying it because I don't want to get one until I use up at least one of the bottles that I already have. And because I can't see that happening this year, I really can't see myself buying that fragrance. It looks like it's going to be banished to the wish list for a while yet. The second thing I won't be purchasing is face palettes, specifically face palettes with one single type of color cosmetic in them. For example, only blushes or only highlighters. And the reason is because it doesn't make sense for me the way I use my makeup. When I look at the way I've used my stuff over the years, if I have a palette that has, say, a blush and a bronzer and a highlighter in it, I'm pretty likely to reach for it. But if a palette only contains blushes or only contains highlighters, I'm much more likely to reach for a single compact product. So those palettes are out, but also the combined palettes that I enjoy, I also don't plan on purchasing this year because I have several that I really like. So I just don't need any. Thing number 3 is foundations. If you've watched all the content on my channel, you're probably going to think I sound like a broken record, but I had an experience last year that was mildly traumatic, and it has really influenced the way I think about my makeup. And that is, I did a foundation declutter where I had to throw out a couple of perfectly lovely products because they expired. I was so busy saving them for special occasions that they rotted away in my drawer before I could use them. And I felt so silly. And so now I just want to focus on using the beautiful foundations I already have. And unless I use one of them up, which I honestly don't see happening, I'm not going to buy another one. No buy category number 4 is lipsticks. I recently reorganized my entire makeup collection according to the container concept, meaning that each makeup category has its own container, and once each slot in that container is full, I can't buy anymore. And every slot in my lipstick container is currently full, meaning that puts me on an automatic no buy. And I have to say, it's really nice. It's like a way to automate my decisions. It's not me saying I can't buy it, it's the container's fault. Category number 5 is cream cosmetics. All makeup expires, but in my experience, cream and liquid products tend to expire a lot faster than powder cosmetics do. And I am still dealing with the remnants of my overconsumption habits, which means I still have a whole lot of cream cosmetics to use up. And I want to do that before they expire because I have a feeling that their dates are coming soon. I don't want to distract myself from that task, so I won't be purchasing any other cream cosmetics this year. Number 6 is eyeliner. Now, my eyeliner container does have a couple of free slots left, so theoretically I could buy a handful of eyeliners this year. But several of the liners that I currently have are starting to get up there in age, and because it's a product that's applied so close to my eyeballs, I would rather focus on using up those products by the end of the year. Number 7 is eyelash primers. I have yet to try an eyelash primer that does anything for me, except maybe irritate my eyes. So I honestly can't see myself buying any eyelash primers in the foreseeable future. Number 8 won't surprise you if you watch me. It is lip plumpers. I have uber sensitive lips, so anytime I use a lip plumper, my lips end up feeling really dry and itchy and irritated. So this category, dead to me. Category number 9 is pH adjusting cosmetics, or as I like to think of it, the cheap mood ring of makeup. Because whether you're purchasing your pH adjusting products from the drugstore or DIOR, they all turn the same shade of pink. It doesn't suit me, I've never liked it, so I won't be buying any of that. Category number 10, I vow. That's a very strong word, but I'm gonna say it. Okay, I vow to stop duping my collection, to stop buying things that I actually already own. As humans, we tend to gravitate towards the things that we like. We have a type, and my type of makeup is anything beige or brown or rosy toned with a refined sparkle or a soft finish. So when I look at my collection, I see a lot of variations on that theme, which means I already have what I want. I don't need to buy yet another version of it. Category 11 is backups. With the exception of one product last year, I have not stocked up on spare personal products in years now. And the reason is because I find that it takes me so long to go through those kinds of products that by the time I finish them up, either my tastes have changed and I no longer want to use that product anymore, or new and improved formulations have come out on the market and I would rather try those. My one exception last year was Givenchy's Prisme Libre powder. I know, I'm a broken record, but at least I'm consistent, okay? The instant that I found out they were reformulating that, I went out and I purchased a backup because it's such a staple in how I do my makeup. But I have no plans to do that for any other products. Category number 12 is nail polish. This is actually a category I only very recently gained an interest in. I didn't have one for a long time because as a guitar player, I work with my hands and I have to keep my nails really short. But also, I just have always had, ever since I was a kid, really thin, flimsy nails that break really easily no matter what I do. And so nail polish doesn't stay on when I apply it anyway. However, I have since realized that press-ons are a really fun option for someone like me because I can easily take them off if I need to perform or record and then just put them back on whenever I want. So I picked up some blank press-on nails to paint and a set of nail polish to experiment with. As someone who really enjoys doing crafty things, I'm getting really excited about painting those blanks. But I know myself, and in the past, I have sometimes gone overboard when I have discovered a new makeup category or a new hobby. I don't want to do that this time, so I am limiting myself to what I have now. And that gives me an entire year to play with it, to learn about the formulas that I have, to discover my preferences, to see if this is even something that I really want to stick with in the long term. And it gives me a great foundation just in case I might want to make any purchases in this category next year. The next category is related, and it is designed press-on nails. In addition to my favorite everyday French tips, I, every once in a while, would purchase a special set of press-ons. For example, a design with a Christmas motif, or one time for fall, I purchased pumpkins or a 4th of July theme. And those can be fun, and I don't think there's anything wrong with getting them, but I want to try making my own this year. So that's what I'm going to try to do. The one thing I'm not going to give up though is my French tips because they're quick, they're easy, and they just look nice. Category 14 is untargeted skincare. There is a ton of great skincare out there on the market, and I do really enjoy trying it, but I no longer just want to buy things to try because they've got great ingredients. A lot of things have great ingredients. That doesn't mean I need to spend my money on all of it and slather it on my face. If I have a specific problem that I am trying to combat, that's one thing. But just going out and buying something because everybody says it's great, not happening. Which brings me to my next point, that I only want to buy one new to me item of skincare at a time. And the reason for this is that if I only want to buy targeted skincare, meaning skincare that's going to improve a given specific concern, then I want to see results. I want to see if it works, but I can only tell if it works if that is the one and only new thing that I'm introducing to my skin. If I go out and buy 10 different lotions and put them all on my face at once, maybe all 10 of them are great, but maybe only one is. But how am I going to know which one it is if I'm trying them all at once? So from now on, if I do decide to buy new skincare, I want to make sure that I see visible results, because otherwise it's not worth repurchasing. And in order to do that, that means I can only try one new item of skincare at a time. Category 16 is chemical sunscreens. I'm the sort of person who wears sunscreen pretty much every day. And in the summer, I tend to be in the sun a lot. So it's a very important part of my skincare. But I have found that lately, even though there are a lot of really great chemical sunscreens on the market, my rosacea doesn't seem to like them anymore. So I think I'm going to finally make the switch to mineral sunscreens. Category number 17 is conductor gel. I have been using a nanocurrent device for years. I use the ZIIP and it's great, but I've always used it with conductor gel. If I purchased the one from ZIIP, it's pretty pricey. There are cheaper ones out there on the market that work just fine, but I'm wondering if I can get away with free water, because water is also a conductive substance. It might be a little bit trickier to use simply because it evaporates where the gels don't, but I'm wondering if I could save some money and still get the same results. I'm going to have to see how this one goes, but I'm hoping it's going to go well and I don't have to buy conductor gel anymore. We'll see. Category 18 is cheap jewelry. I don't actually buy all that much jewelry in general, but boy howdy, do I own a lot of it. Much of that has to do with the fact that I've been working as a performer for years, but also because my grandmother and my aunts have given me a lot of vintage costume jewelry over the years. So much so that I'm kind of beginning to feel like a hoarder, and I think I need to declutter most of it. Because in my daily life, I tend to wear the same stuff over and over pretty much every day. If you've been watching my channel, I wear pretty much the same studs and the same rings over and over again. So I don't need a lot of jewelry, but I also can't really bring myself to declutter it because every single piece has memories of a specific tour or a special person or a special place. I think what I need to do is just get used to the idea that I can hold on to those memories without keeping all the stuff. So I guess the question at this point is, would you want to see an absurdly long jewelry declutter, or is that something I should do on my own? Category 19 is petroleum-based clothing, which includes polyester. I have recently come to the realization that my skin is much happier when I wear natural fibers. And I discovered it actually just kind of inadvertently because I noticed that after working out, my skin just seemed happier whenever I happened to be wearing cotton undies. So I decided to switch to 100% cotton undies, which is actually, they're really hard to find, surprisingly hard to find. It's possible because I'm wearing them right now, but it's just a challenge. But I think I'd like to extend this now to any new clothing that I purchase, with the exception of possibly outerwear, but definitely bras, because I finally found a model of bra that actually fits me well. And I'm really happy with it. I think anybody out there with any sort of boobage can appreciate how difficult it can be to find a well-fitting bra. So I'm just not prepared emotionally, spiritually, physically to go on another search for a bra. So I'm going to stick with this one. Category 20 is trendy clothing. If a piece of clothing is so of the moment that I can't imagine wearing it regularly for at least the next 10 years, I don't want it. Which brings me to my next point. I don't want to be purchasing any fast fashion. If I don't think that a piece of clothing is going to last and look good for at least 10 years of regular wear, then I also don't want it. There was a long time of my life where the only clothing I could afford was the cheapest of the cheap fast fashion. And my experience during that time of my life was that it never looked good after the first wash and it only got worse after that. So even though my budget for clothing still still isn't massive, I do think I would like to invest in sturdier, more robust pieces, ideally from a secondhand shop. But if I do have to buy something new, I want to make sure that it feels like it's really going to last. So I'm going to look at the stitching, I'm going to look at the fabric quality, and I'm going to look at the wash instructions. Category 22 is clothes I don't love. I think I have some pretty high standards now when it comes to any new clothes I consider bringing into my wardrobe. They have to be comfortable, they have to look good, they have to be robust, but also if it's a skirt or pants or a dress, it has to have pockets. It's a non-negotiable. In general, I just want to make sure that my clothing is a 10 out of 10. It has to make me look and feel my best. But even if a piece of clothing does make me look and feel my best, if it doesn't have a purpose, I don't want to buy it. No matter how good an item of clothing looks or feels, if it's not practical for me and doesn't suit my lifestyle, then it's going to end up just taking up space in my closet. And that's just a waste of money. Category 24 is notebooks and stationery items. One of the many hats that I wear as a musician is that of a songwriter. So you can often find me sitting by a lake or in a park, scribbling wildly in a notebook. A lot of people have noticed this about me, and so many people have given me notebooks as gifts. They're very thoughtful gifts, they're beautiful, I use them all the time, but at this point, I think I have an entire bookcase just stuffed with notebooks waiting to be filled, so I don't think I need to buy another notebook for the rest of my life. Category 25 is pre-made cleaning products for the home. I have somehow managed to collect so many different bottles of cleaning things. And I don't mean repeats of the same product. I mean, they're all different. I don't even remember buying them. I don't know where they came from. It's almost like they're reproducing under the kitchen sink like bunnies. But every single one of the bottles seems to be half full. And I don't want to combine them because I'm not a chemist and I'm kind of worried that if I do that, I'll blow up my kitchen. So my goal is to just use all of them up, like really focus on using one right after the other, and then to start making my own cleaning products. Is there anything that you plan on not buying in 2025? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy style and beauty content with a smidge of conscious consumerism, I have another video for you right here. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. But even if you don't, I hope you have a great week and we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.